How do they get these episodes out so quick? I was still watching the episode and I looked down at my phone and someone else had already done a whole reaction video. No, stop it. Stop that. Stop. No, stop. We're not going to do that. They don't get to use their theme song until they get better. Use my theme song. Let's go. Season 2, episode 3 of The House of the Dragon was just more of the same. I don't know what else to say at this point. I mean, I'm not going to continue to fuss about it. I'm not going to continue to go on and on about how boring it is and how it's a house of intrigue and not House of Dragon. When the most exciting thing that's happened in the first 3 episodes of a big acclaimed TV show is a dragon chasing down somebody on horseback, and it didn't even fire at them. It was just chasing them for fun. I don't know what to say. I don't know where this show is going. And I know that episode 4 is probably going to be something huge. They're going to have the big dragon fight and everything happening and everything that I've been asking for the first 3.5 episodes, but it's too little, too late. You know what? It might not be too little too late. It might be perfect, but episode 4 better be the best thing I've ever seen if it's going to save this series for me, at least this season of the series. I don't know who wrote it. I don't know what they're trying to do, but this show, I just can't. I can't. I mean, we are where we are. And let's try to find something positive to say about it. It started out with a really dope transition. I mean, we had the Blackwoods and the Brackens arguing against somebody, and there was a really dope transition between them arguing, just a few young men arguing, and then everybody dead. And you know what upsets me is because I said something last week about how I don't think that Kristen Cole and the Greens, I don't think that they have the minds to out strategize the blacks. And it's proven here. I mean, we see Kristen Cole on his way finally getting out there to go to Harren Hall. But Damon is already at Harren Hall. He's already landed there and everything. And even that was much ado about nothing. I mean, he gets there and the dude's like, okay, you're here. Yeah, we bend the knee, whatever. Yes, you have Harren Hall. I don't know what you're going to do with us. It's so frustrating. This entire episode is about trying to stop a war that's bound to happen. They had a line in here that said, when the desire to kill and burn takes hold, the reasons are forgotten. And that's really the prevailing thought of the episode. That's kind of what the episode was all about. They took one line in the episode and made a whole episode about it. And that would be okay if we had any action before, but the fact that you haven't had any action before, you haven't done anything to keep us really in tune with the show, and then you have a whole theological, mind-bending episode all around one line of dialogue. What else happened in the episode? Well, we did get to see Littlefoot in action. He actually did something good because King Aegon wanted to go with Kristen Cole on his dragon to show how big and bad he is because, you know, all the men are warmongering on this show. He was able to use his ability to convince King Aegon to stay at home because that's where the king needs to be. He didn't need to be out there in the war. He doesn't need to prove himself out there on the battlefield. They need him in the palace running things. We got to see the White Worm actually making herself invaluable to the queen, and I thought that that was okay. Again, I like that duo and I like them together. She also asked to be on Rhaenyra's court, and I think that that was a great thing. But these little pluses does not do enough to keep you here. You know, the one interesting thing in the episode was, I believe it was a callback to the Game of Thrones series where Rhaenyra sent Rhaena away with her little children and with some dragon eggs that looked suspiciously like the dragon eggs from the Game of Thrones series and the ones that the dragons that ended up being Daenerys's dragons were born. And I think that that was an interesting callback. That actually made me perk up a little bit because at least they did something that referenced an actual good show. I did notice that there was 4 eggs in there. By the time Daenerys got it, there was only 3. So I wonder what they're going to do with that 4th egg. Is that 4th egg going to be something in a different show that they're trying to do or something like that? I seriously doubt they did that for no reason. And I can't wait really to see what they did it for. You know, that's one of those Easter eggs that we may be able to find in a different series that's coming up with HBO. So yes, thank you for that. I guess I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the discussion that Rhaenyra and Alicent had at the end of the episode, how Alicent realized that the king was not talking about her son as far as the line of succession goes, that he was actually speaking about the Song of Ice and Fire, and he was talking about King Aegon the Conqueror, not his grandson being the prince that was promised. And she realized that. And when you could see again, the person who plays her is a great actress. You could see the look on her face when she realized that she had made a mistake. But at this point, it's too late. At this point, she's already putting her son on the throne, and we already know how he is. That the men on the general council already was ready for war, and we see how they are, and that there was no stopping this train at this point, that it was absolutely too late to admit that she was wrong, and that wouldn't do anything but cause more problems for her. So she refused to help Rhaenyra in that situation, but she did allow her to leave. With everything else that happened, that was probably the most interesting thing. And then it goes back to the fact that the desire to kill is already there. It doesn't matter why they're doing it at this point. It's just everybody is out for blood. The king wants to kill. Both general councils want to kill. Everybody wants to kill except for the ladies in the show, Rhaenyra and Alicent. They're the only 2 that don't have the bloodlust in their eyes. And I think at this point, it's just too late. I think at this point, fighting has to happen, and we already know that it's going to happen. So hopefully next episode we'll get something. That's all I got to say about the episode. Really, I can't, I wish I could give it kudos. I wish I could say thumbs up, but right now, if episode 4 isn't the best episode of anything HBO Max has ever done, they've flat out wasted our time. So you tell me what you think. Do you feel differently than I feel? Do you think that this show is the best thing since sliced bread? Do you think that this intrigue and everything, all the backfighting and all of the espionage is worth it to you? Is this like something that you're really into and it's just me? Come at me. Tell me what you think. All right, tell me if you like the show. If you don't like the show and you agree with me, tell me if you do like the show and you do not agree with me. I want to hear it all. All right, hopefully I'll see you next week after we watch the best episode of House of Dragon yet. Peace.